In the world of boxing, there are champions, and then there are forces of nature. Men whose power and precision seem almost unfair, night early. But monsters aren't born, they're made. And behind Inoue's highlight reel knockouts lies a story of discipline, obsession, and training so brutal that it forges not just the body, but the mind. Today, we'll go beyond the knockouts. We'll break down the mindset that keeps him razor sharp, the routines that build his speed and power, and the daily grind that has turned him into one of the most dangerous champions the sport has ever seen. This is Naoya Inoue, the monster. Naoya Inoue was born on April 10, 1993, in Zama, Kanagawa, Japan. His path to boxing greatness didn't begin with dreams of titles or highlight reel knockouts. It began with his father, Shingo Inoue, an accomplished amateur boxer who knew the demands of the sport. When Shingo looked at his young son, he saw potential and an opportunity to pass on everything he had learned. At just 5 years old, while most kids were playing with toys, Naoya stepped into a boxing gym for the first time. Shingo became his first and most important trainer, a role he still holds today. What made those early years special wasn't just Naoya's age, but his father's approach. Shingo knew a champion was built on more than punches and footwork. It was about mindset, work ethic, and a deep understanding of the game. From day one, Naoya showed a rare gift. He could absorb lessons instantly and apply them in the ring. While other kids lost focus, he thrived on repetition, structure, and discipline. This early training built more than skill. It forged a relationship with hard work that would shape every step of his career. His father wasn't just teaching him to fight, he was teaching him to think like a champion. As Naoya moved through the amateur ranks, his blend of technical skill, natural power, and relentless drive stood out. The ring became his laboratory, each fight refining the tools he was building in the gym. By the time he turned professional, the foundation was unshakable, but the brutal work that would create the monster was only just beginning. The foundation. Fundamental training principles. To understand how Naoya Inoue became the monster, you need to see the philosophy behind his preparation, a blend of traditional Japanese discipline and cutting-edge boxing science. At Ohashi Gym, every session is designed with surgical precision to develop every aspect of his fighting ability. The foundation begins with something most overlook, the canvas itself. Unlike the softer rings in most gyms, Japanese gyms, including Ohashi, use firm, springy canvases covered with plastic sheets. This isn't just tradition, it's a training tool. The harder surface forces fighters to refine footwork mechanics and strengthens the connection between feet and ground. Every step, pivot, and explosive movement gives instant feedback, contributing to Inoue's blistering speed and ability to generate power from unlikely angles. His day starts before dawn, when most of the world is asleep. It's not only about avoiding distractions, even the warm-up could pass for a full workout. Jump rope, dynamic stretching, activation drills, mobility work for every joint, and bodyweight staples like push-ups, pull-ups, rope climbs, and core circuits. These movements don't just build strength, they create the type of athletic control that carries through every punch. Technical work forms the core of each session. Hours are spent perfecting punches with precision and intent, shadowboxing as if facing a live opponent, and drilling footwork to create fight-winning angles. Heavy bag work demonstrates why he punches so hard for his size. Flawless technique, explosive hip rotation, and complete power transfer from legs to fists, producing a sharp, distinctive snap. Pad work with his trainers develops rhythm, timing, and seamless transitions between offense and defense, all while maintaining perfect balance. Every combination is practiced until it feels instinctive, so in the chaos of a real fight, his body responds without hesitation. Even in high-speed exchanges, his balance and positioning rarely break. He treats every repetition, no matter how small, as if it could decide a championship fight. That obsession with doing things perfectly, not just hard, is what turns ordinary training into world-class mastery. Sparring then puts all this into practice, testing his skills under live pressure, forcing him to adapt to unpredictable situations. These sessions sharpen his reflexes and ring IQ, making sure technique and power hold up when it matters most. Most importantly, every drill is done with unwavering intensity. From the first punch to the last conditioning set, Inoue trains with the same focus and aggression he brings to world title fights. This isn't just training, it's the daily construction of a weapon. The Monster's Method. Advanced training techniques. While the fundamentals create the foundation, it's Inoue's advanced training methods that truly separate him from other world-class fighters. These are the brutal, innovative techniques that have earned him his fearsome reputation and created the explosive power that has shocked the boxing world. Sprint training forms a crucial component of Inoue's power development program. But these aren't casual jogs or even typical sprint workouts. Inoue's sprint training is specifically designed to increase his rate of force development, which directly translates into faster, more explosive punches. The science behind this is clear. The ability to accelerate quickly creates the kind of fast-twitch muscle fiber activation that generates knockout power. The sprint sessions are performed with scientific precision, short bursts of 5 to 15 meters, focusing on pure acceleration rather than top-end speed. This distance range has been proven through sports science research to optimize the specific adaptations that benefit boxing performance. Every sprint is performed at maximum intensity, with rest periods calculated to ensure complete recovery before the next rep. Some days he takes the challenge vertical, powering up long flights of stairs in explosive bounds. On others, resistance comes in the form of a partner strapped to the other end of a band, forcing him to sprint as if dragging an unmovable weight. The resistance is carefully calibrated to reduce his sprint speed by only about 10%. Too much would compromise the explosive qualities he's building. Battle rope training represents another innovation in Inoue's conditioning program. These thick, heavy ropes are used in full-body workouts that simultaneously build cardiovascular endurance and explosive power. But Inoue's approach goes beyond typical fitness routines. His rope drills mimic the burst and recover rhythm of a fight. What might surprise many observers is Inoue's incorporation of strongman-style training elements. Despite being a lower-weight fighter, he performs exercises like flipping tractor tires, hammering them with a sledge until sweat drips like rain, and even pushing a car across the gym lot to develop raw driving force. Rope climbing builds his upper body pulling power and grip endurance, while farmers' carries and weighted walks develop the core stability that anchors every punch. This strongman influence isn't about building bulk or unnecessary muscle. Instead, it's about developing functional strength that translates directly to boxing performance. Force through multiple planes of movement, durability under fatigue, and the mental toughness to keep pushing when the body wants to quit. Lying flat on the floor, Inoue would sweep his arms in explosive repetitions to build shoulder endurance, punching stamina, and the ability to maintain speed under fatigue. This simple but brutal drill directly conditions the muscles used in rapid-fire combinations, ensuring his punches stay sharp from the opening bell to the final round. Every sweep is treated as seriously as a fight-ending punch. Even his recovery work is deliberate, from ice baths to mobility drills, ensuring his body is primed for the next battle. For Inoue, there's no such thing as off days, only days spent getting ready to be even more dangerous. The integration of all these training methods requires careful periodization and recovery protocols. The intensity of Inoue's regimen could break down a lesser athlete without proper management. Sleep, nutrition, and recovery are handled with the same discipline as the work itself, ensuring every brutal session builds him up instead of tearing him down. Mental discipline and mindset. Physical talent alone doesn't create a fighter like Naoya Inoue. What truly separates the monster is the mental discipline that fuels every part of his preparation and performance. This mindset is as demanding as any physical workout, requiring a level of focus and toughness few can match. It starts with extraordinary consistency. Inoue's training schedule never changes based on mood, motivation, or the time of year. Whether he's weeks away from a world title fight or in the off-season, he trains with the same intensity and precision. This approach, shaped since childhood under his father Shingo's guidance, ensures he never slips below elite standards. Sparring isn't just physical practice. For Inoue, it's a mental proving ground. Each session is treated like a test under pressure, sharpening decision-making and focus so he can read situations and respond instantly in the ring. Visualization is another key weapon. He spends hours mentally running through fight scenarios, rehearsing responses until they become automatic. This mental conditioning means that when the stakes are highest, he doesn't tense up, he sharpens. Big moments don't rattle him, they center him. Inoue also carries a true growth mindset. Tough sparring, grueling workouts, and even setbacks aren't obstacles, they're opportunities to improve. The trust and bond with his father trainer create a support system that lets him push his limits without hesitation. This mental discipline doesn't switch off when training ends. Diet, recovery, and even his social life are managed with one question in mind. Will this make me a better fighter? It's a level of commitment most people can't imagine, but it's what makes Naoya Inoue not just a champion, but the monster. Monster results. All of Inoue's brutal training, mental discipline, and systematic preparation serve one purpose: to create a fighter who can impose his will on anyone in the ring. The results speak for themselves, but understanding how his training translates into performance reveals the true genius of his approach. The most visible product of his work is his devastating punching power. Competing in the lower weight classes hasn't stopped him from producing knockouts worthy of any division. This power isn't just natural talent, it's the result of thousands of hours perfecting the kinetic chain that transfers force from his legs through his hips into his fists. Sprint training and plyometrics build explosive, fast-twitch muscle fibers. Battle ropes and strongman work develop the core stability and rotational power to throw with force from any angle. Technical precision ensures every ounce of generated power reaches its target. Thousands of perfect repetitions have ingrained muscle memory so deep that even under championship pressure, his shots remain sharp, efficient, and purposeful. His footwork, refined on firm Japanese canvases and through endless agility drills, allows him to create angles and openings others can't see, all while keeping himself difficult to hit. This efficiency lets him maintain full power output deep into fights. His conditioning is equally impressive. While many power punchers fade late, Inoue often grows stronger as opponents tire, the product of an intense program for both cardiovascular and muscular endurance. Mentally, his preparation produces elite ring intelligence. He doesn't just react, he anticipates, countering before opponents finish their moves. This comes from constant visualization and mental rehearsal. The results are undeniable: multiple division world champion, high knockout ratio, and wins over elite opponents. More telling than the accolades is the way he wins. Rivals often remark on his unexpected power, even after studying him, proving his training has produced qualities that video alone can't reveal. The fusion of skill, athleticism, and mental toughness makes Naoya Inoue greater than the sum of his parts and one of the most dangerous fighters in the sport. Naoya Inoue's journey from a 5-year-old boy learning to box from his father to becoming one of the most feared fighters in the world is a testament to the power of relentless preparation. But his story represents something larger than just individual success. It's a blueprint for what's possible when talent meets the kind of systematic, brutal training that most people aren't willing to endure. The training methods that built the monster aren't secret techniques or revolutionary discoveries. They're the result of taking proven principles and applying them with a level of consistency, intensity, and precision that few athletes can match. The firm canvas, the sprint training, the battle ropes, the mental discipline, none of these elements are unique to Inoue. What's unique is the way he's combined them and the relentless commitment he's brought to their execution. What makes Inoue's approach truly special is the understanding that becoming elite in any field requires a willingness to do things that others won't do. While other fighters might train hard when they feel motivated or when they're preparing for big fights, Inoue has made excellence a daily habit. This consistency, maintained over years and decades, is what separates good fighters from great ones, and great fighters from legends. The father-son relationship that forms the foundation of his training provides a model for how proper mentorship can accelerate development. Shingo Inoue didn't just teach his son boxing techniques, he instilled a work ethic and mindset that made everything else possible. This relationship demonstrates that having the right guidance can make the difference between potential and actualization. For aspiring fighters and athletes in any discipline, Inoue's story provides both inspiration and a sobering reality check. The inspiration comes from seeing what's possible when someone commits completely to their craft. The reality check comes from understanding the level of sacrifice and dedication required to reach those heights. As Naoya Inoue continues his career and potentially moves up to face even bigger challenges, the training methods that built the monster will undoubtedly continue to evolve. But the fundamental principles, the commitment to excellence, the attention to detail, the mental toughness, and the willingness to do whatever it takes, these will remain constant. In a world where many people are looking for shortcuts and easy answers, Naoya Inoue represents the timeless truth that greatness comes from the accumulation of countless small efforts performed with excellence over long periods of time. He is, quite literally, a monster of his own making.